Hello and welcome to the Mount Pleasant Area High School feature game for the Tom Traynor Tip-Off Tournament between the Southmoreland Scotties and your Mount Pleasant Area Vikings. I'm Alex Cadillac alongside Katie Hutter, and for the next 4 quarters we will be bringing you this season-opening rivalry which has promised to be an exciting contest.
Yes, Alex, this is the Vikings' first year under head coach and assistant principal Alan Belinsky. He is hoping his up-tempo offense will bring new light to a team that struggled to win a handful of games last season. There's a lot of promise considering they made easy work of Brownsville just last week.
Yes, Katie, and if they are to do the same thing this evening, here are some key things to the game that may be important. The Scotties wearing black and red went just 4-8 last season, missing the Whitfield playoffs despite being a top seed 2 seasons ago. After losing minimal seniors to graduation last season, the Scotties lineup is very similar to that of last. Southmoreland struggled versus most opponents last year, but triumphed over opponents such as Mount Pleasant and Best Center. Key players for the Scotties will be Riley Conforti as well as Ronnie Robinson, both starters for Southmoreland just a year ago.
The Vikings are wearing white for their first home game this season. New head coach Alan Belinsky hopes to lead his team to victory tonight against the Scotties. The only definite returning starter is Jake Johnson. With only having 1 graduating senior last year, Mount Pleasant is still looking to up their game to get a couple more wins and have a great season.
Thanks, Katie, and we will soon turn over to PA announcer. I'm not exactly sure who the PA announcer is as of right now. I do believe it is Taylor Rameli. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll be right back for the starting lineups and the national anthem. All right, Katie. So what input do you have for these folks back at home on Mount Pleasant's offense and defense this season?
I don't know. It looks pretty strong so far after the scrimmage a couple days ago. So it's going to be a great time.
I feel like after integrating the fast-paced offense and the press defense this season, I think the Vikings are going to make easy work of Southmoreland tonight. But I guess we're just going to have to watch and find out, really.
Yes, sir.
Student section seems pretty hyped about this game tonight. Definitely going to be a good matchup, hopefully. May I also add that Mount Pleasant's lineup is rather young this year. A lot of fresh faces, like 6'5" freshman Luke Brander. He'll be coming off the bench tonight. But we also have a returning starter who used to play basketball in junior high of Sam Napper, coming back for his senior season this year. Junior Jacob Johnson, returning starter for the Vikings this year. Hopefully he can come back for another strong season. I do believe he was the leading scorer for Mount Pleasant last season. Was a leading receiver for the Mount Pleasant Vikings football team this year with nearly 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. All right, we will now turn it over to our PA announcer, Marianne Bauer, and for the singing of our national anthem.
represent his school. The purpose of this activity is to provide positive learning experiences and opportunities for personal growth for the participants. Cheerleaders, officials, and spectators can and are expected to assist in the promotion and achievement of good sportsmanship ideals by taking personal responsibility for keeping this contest at a high level of fair, clean, and wholesome competition. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. Veterans are encouraged to salute the flag.
All right, welcome back to the tip-off of tonight's contest. Jacob Johnson and Brett Glowacki will be in center court to tip off. Jacob Johnson wins the tip-off and gets it back to Nate Kabuski, who gets it right back to Johnson and kicks it back to Salvatore. Nice crossover on Robinson. Back to Johnson up top. Swings it back to Salvatore. Kicks it inside to Luculo, who tries to get it inside, but stolen away by Conforti, who passes it ahead to Robinson. Robinson good for 2. All right, Salvatore inbounding. Gets it to Johnson, back to Salvatore. Salvatore driving right, kicks it back to Johnson up top. Johnson drives and fouled inside, Johnson is, by, I do believe, Glowacki. Never mind, that was on Cernuto. Johnson to inbound, kicks it out to Kabuski. Gets it back in the corner to Johnson, who shoots a 3, but he's off on the side of the rim. A questionable call as Southmoreland obtains possession. Robinson will inbound. Salvatore with the defense, kicks it into Cernuto, back to Robinson, who kicks it to Cade Richter. That's a travel on Richter. The ball will be definitely going the other way on that one. Mount Pleasant has possession of the ball. Johnson inbounding, gets it to Salvatore. Salvatore drives, driving right. Fouled on the 3-point line by, I do believe, Cade Richter. Nope, Robinson, scratch that. Salvatore to inbound, gets it to Johnson. Johnson drives left, kicks it out to Kabuski, who drives in, but fouled once again by Southmoreland. Ooh, kickball. Johnson kicked that one to the ceiling. Conforti with the ball, kicks it to Richter underneath. Blocked hard by Nate Kabuski, but I do believe that's going to be a foul. Richter to shoot 2. Fouled by number 13, Nate Kabuski. That'll be his first, also team's first. Richter makes the first free throw. Richter makes the second one, but not after it bounces off the rim at least a couple times. Salvatore with the ball on the right. Drives, kicks it out to Napper, who drives inside, kicks it back out. And that's Nate Kabuski with the 3 for Mount Pleasant. Conforti with the ball, driving in, kicks it underneath to Cernuto. Blocked hard by Salvatore, but Cade Richter comes up with the rebound and puts it in for 2. All right, Ty Salvatore on the right side of the court. Driving right, spin move. Ooh, falls to the floor though. Stolen by Cade Richter. And that'll be a foul on number 1, Zach Luculo for the Vikings. That'll be his first, Mount Pleasant's second. Alrighty, Southmoreland will obtain possession after the foul. Conforti with the ball. Kabuski with the defense. Robinson up top. Kicks it underneath to Conforti, who's blocked hard by Luculo, and the ball goes out of bounds. 6'6" freshman Luke Brander checks into the game for number 1 senior, Zach Luculo. Robinson to inbound, gets it to Conforti, who's guarded hard by Johnson underneath. Ooh, Conforti for 2. Salvatore with the ball. Robinson with the hard defense. Stolen by Cernuto. And fouled by Ty Salvatore. All right, Cernuto will be shooting 2. That'll be Ty Salvatore's first foul and team's 4th. Cernuto makes the first after a couple bounces on the rim there. But can't connect on the second. Napper with the ball on the right side, drives inside. Napper with the shot, and he's fouled by, I do believe it is number 24, Brett Glowacki for the Scotties, who fouled Napper on that shot. Oh, scratch that, it was Cernuto, and that'll be his second foul, team's 3rd, as Napper shoots 2 free throws. Napper connects on the first. Anderson checks in for the Scotties, coming in for Cernuto. Napper to shoot his second free throw, and makes it. Converts on both free throws there for the Vikings. Inbounded to Dalton. Anderson inside, kicks it to Conforti, who gets it back to Robinson, up to Cade Richter up top. Ball tipped around by Johnson, and Nate Kabuski comes up with it, who drives. And I do believe that'll be a blocking foul on Cade Richter. Yes, that'll be Richter's first foul, team's 4th, as Nate Kabuski attempts 2 free throws here for the Vikings. Ooh, Kabuski off the front of the rim on the first. And Kabuski connects on the second free throw. Conforti to inbound for the Scotties. Gets it into Glowacki, who passes it to Conforti. Conforti tries to lay it in, but off the backboard. Rebounded by Dalton Anderson. But Ty Salvatore comes up with it in the end. Ooh, stolen by Riley Conforti, but he steps out of bounds, and Mount Pleasant will obtain possession. Unfortunate series of events for the Scotties there, as they had a chance to score but couldn't convert. Ty Salvatore with the ball on the left side. Kicks it out to Nate Kabuski, who connects once again from deep. Oh, never mind. Scratch that. I guess he was a little bit inside the line there. Mount Pleasant trails the Southmoreland Scotties 9-8 as Anderson's fouled hard underneath. Fouled by number 10, Sam Napper for the Vikings. That'll be his first foul, team's 5th. Anderson up to the line, will be shooting 2. Student section in full effect right now. Anderson connects on the first. Anderson to shoot a second free throw here. But he can't connect off the back of the rim. But Conforti comes up with the rebound, gets it back to Dalton Anderson up top. Salvatore with the defense. Anderson drives inside, tries to get it into Glowacki, but stolen by Ty Salvatore, who throws it ahead to Johnson, guarded by Conforti. Johnson trapped there in the corner, gets it to Brander, who puts it up for 2. Lucas Brander for 2. Mount Pleasant and Southmoreland tied at 10 right now in this contest. Conforti with the ball, driving inside. Ooh, off the backboard. Richter comes up with the rebound, kicks to Robinson, who shoots a 3, Off the side of the rim, though, rebounded by Nate Kabuski, who gets it inside to Jacob Johnson. Jacob Johnson drives. Johnson with the layup off the side of the rim, but he will be fouled by number 24, Brett Glowacki. That'll be Glowacki's first, team's fifth. All right, Johnson up on the free throw line. Converts on the first. That puts Mount Pleasant up 11-10 on the Scotties. Johnson to shoot his second free throw, and he connects on that one as well, putting the Mount Pleasant Vikings up 12-10 on the Scotties. Carson Smith subs in for Jacob Johnson, as well as Lucas Tui subbing in for Ty Salvatore. Inbounded to Glowacki, who gets it to Anderson. Ball stolen by Kabuski, gets it to Napper. Napper drives, puts up a shot. Napper off the backboard, though. Rebounded by Cade Richter, who gets it up to Robinson. Robinson with the shot, and fouled by Lucas Tui. That'll be Lucas Tui's first foul, team sixth, as Robinson heads to the free throw line. Robinson off the back of the rim on that free throw, as Cernuto subs back in for Anderson. And Peterson subs in for Glowacki. Robinson attempting his second free throw of the set and makes it, as Southmoreland trails your Mount Pleasant area Vikings 12-11. Kabuski with the defense, as Johnson and Mason check in for the Vikings, sending Napper to the bench, as well as Kabuski. Robinson to inbound for the Scotties. Gets it into Cernuto. Cernuto inside to Robinson. Robinson with the floater, but no good. Rebounded by Luke Brander, who is fouled by number 15, Peterson. That'll be Peterson's first foul, Southmoreland's sixth. Johnson to inbound for the Vikings. Tui's taking the ball down court. Kicks it to Johnson on the left. Johnson drives, kicks it out to Carson Smith in the corner, back up to Lucas Tui. Tui up top with the defense from Conforti. Stolen by Cade Richter, who gets it ahead to Conforti. And Conforti converts on the layup to put the Scotties up 13-12 on the Mount Pleasant area Vikings. Tui inbounds to Johnson. Johnson kicks it to Carson Smith in the corner, who gets it back up to Johnson. Johnson drives right, kicks it to Brander inside, who drives but then tries to kick it to Trevor Mason. Out of bounds, Southmoreland will obtain possession. Richter with the ball for Southmoreland. Passes it up to Cernuto. Cernuto driving right, kicks it out to Glowacki in the corner, guarded by Mason. Glowacki tries to drive baseline, but stopped by Trevor Mason. As Conforti shoots a three, Conforti off the front of the rim. Mason with the rebound. Gets it out to Tui. As Tui takes the ball down court, gets it to Carson Smith. As Carson Smith attempts the floater, but no good. Luke Brander with the rebound, no good on his shot. And Lucas Tui attempts yet again another shot, and yet again it's off. An unfortunate series of events for the Mount Pleasant area Vikings there, as they come up short despite having three opportunities. Conforti to inbound for Southmoreland as the ball goes out of bounds. Gets it to Cernuto, who kicks it right back to Conforti real quick. Conforti to Glowacki. Glowacki shoots and scores 2 for Southmoreland. That puts them up 15-12 on Mount Pleasant. Tui with the ball, kicks it to Johnson. Johnson up top, guarded by Cernuto. Kicks it to the corner as Kabuski attempts another shot for 3, and that is good. Tying the game 15-15. Conforti with the ball, kicks it to Richter. Richter driving left. Ooh, back to Conforti as Conforti drives, floater, and that's good for 2, putting Southmoreland up again, 17-15. As Mount Pleasant goes the other way, Johnson has the ball, drives, as he kicks it to Tui, who kicks it to Kabuski in the corner, who bangs yet again, another 3 for Kabuski, putting the Mount Pleasant area Vikings up 18-17. Cade Richter with the ball, Tui with the defense. And yet again, another travel on Richter. Seems to be a reoccurring thing for him in this game. Positive comments coming out of Mount Pleasant student section. As Jacob Johnson inbounds for Mount Pleasant, who, may I add, is up 18-17 on the Southmoreland Scotties. Inbounds to Salvatore. Salvatore, only a sophomore for the Vikings, is making his first start at point guard. Gets it back to Johnson. Johnson driving right, kicks it out to Mason in the corner, back to Johnson. Inside to Jonas King. But dribbles it out of bounds as Southmoreland will obtain possession. Robinson to inbound. Robinson gets it in to Glowacki. Glowacki searching, gets it to Cernuto, who, the ball stolen by Kabuski. Ooh, Kabuski tries to get it to Johnson, gets it to him outside, swings it back to Ty Salvatore, he gets it back to Johnson. Johnson shoots a 3. Oh, in and out for Mount Pleasant. Johnson with that shot. Ooh, stolen by Salvatore, but he stepped out of bounds. It'll yet again be Southmoreland's ball. Maybe another questionable call by the refs. Robinson to inbound for the Scotties. Gets it out to Glowacki, guarded by Johnson up top. Back to Robinson. Guarded by Salvatore. Robinson drives, shoots off the backboard. Johnson comes up with the rebound as he takes it the other way for Mount Pleasant. Johnson lays it in. That's good for 2, putting your Mount Pleasant area Vikings up 20-17 over the Southmoreland Scotties. Cernuto inbounds it to Robinson, guarded by Salvatore. 20 seconds left on the game clock. Kicks it into Glowacki. Glowacki with the floater, but it's off the side of the rim, and Kabuski comes up with the rebound, trapped by Cernuto and Peterson. Peterson comes up with a steal, though, and he is fouled by 00 Jonas King. That'll be his first foul, Mount Pleasant's 7th. Ooh, scratch that. That would be Nate Kabuski on the foul. That'll be his second, team 7th. As Peterson gets sent to the line for 2 free throws. Sam Napper subbing in for the Vikings, coming in for Kabuski. Smart move by the Vikings as he has 2 fouls, and it's only the first quarter. And folks, if you're just tuning in, Mount Pleasant leads Southmoreland 20-17 as Peterson attempts 2 free throws here at the end of this quarter. Peterson makes the first free throw as he's shooting 1 of 1. But I do believe, oh, that counts. As he shoots another one off the back of the rim, no good for Southmoreland. Brett Glowacki with the 3. That's an air ball. And at the end of this first quarter, your Mount Pleasant area Vikings lead the Southmoreland Scotties 20-18. And I will turn the microphone over to Katie Hutter.
All right, here at the end of the first quarter, we've had a couple questionable calls early in the game throughout the first quarter. Very close game so far here against the Mount Pleasant Vikings and the Southmoreland Scotties.
It is definitely a back and forth game here as Mount Pleasant leads by only 2 at the end of the first quarter. All right, and if you're just tuning in with us, folks, at the beginning of the second quarter, Mount Pleasant is leading 2018 over the Southmoreland Scotties. It will be Southmoreland's ball as Robinson inbounds, gets it to Cernuto. Cernuto guarded by Kabuski. Kabuski with the hard defense as he kicks it back out to Robinson. Robinson driving left, nothing there. Kicks it back to Cernuto, who drives inside. Fouled hard by Kabuski. That'll be his 3rd foul. Mount Pleasant's 8th. As he sends Cernuto to the line for 2 more free throws. All right, Cernuto attempting his first free throw. Ooh, off the front of the rim, no good. As Tui subs in for Kabuski. May I remind you that Kabuski has 3 fouls as of right now. As Cernuto attempts his 2nd free throw, it is good for the Scotties, cutting the deficit to only 1. Salvatore with the ball, guarded by Richter. Kicks it out to Sam Napper in the corner, who kicks it back up to Johnson up top, back to Sam Napper in the corner, back up to Johnson. All right, as Brander screens left, Johnson kicks it out to Salvatore, who attempts a floater, but no good off the front of the rim. Back out to Tui. Tui attempts a 3-pointer, but it's off the side of the rim, rebounded by Robinson. Robinson kicks it up to Conforti, who kicks it back to Robinson, who attempts a 3, but no good off the side of the rim once again. Robinson comes up with the rebound, kicks it to Conforti. Conforti guarded by Sam Napper up top, and fouled by Napper. That'll be Napper's 2nd foul, team's 9th. Mount Pleasant seems to be in a bit of foul trouble right now as their starting sophomore guard, Nate Kabuski, is on the bench now with 3 fouls.
Yeah, Nate has 3 fouls, but he's having a very aggressive game. I think he's still playing very well.
All right, as that free throw is no good for Conforti. The ball goes the other way as Johnson has it. Johnson attempts a mid-range jumper, but no good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Conforti, who kicks it up to Richter. Back to Conforti, guarded by Salvatore up top. Conforti drives, looks, nothing there. Tipped by Johnson, but recovered by Robinson, who tries to kick it out to Richter, who gets it, and gets it back to Glowacki inside, who shoots the layup. That puts Southmoreland up 21-20 on your Mount Pleasant area Vikings. And Salvatore with the ball, gets it to Johnson. Johnson driving, and good for 2. All right, as Riley Conforti inbounds it, it is on the floor, jump ball, and it will be White's ball, Mount Pleasant's ball. As Robinson and a whole group of Vikings were on the floor wrestling for that ball. Johnson to inbound for the Vikings. Gets it up top to Tui. Tui guarded by Conforti. Tui driving right. Picks up his dribble. Kicks it to Johnson. Johnson driving right. Kicks it back to Tui. And head coach Alan Belinsky calls his first time out of the game. And I will kick the microphone over to Katie Hutter.
Mount Pleasant is definitely having some foul trouble here, but they're still playing a very aggressive game. We would like to give a shout out to the student section who is dressed up for whiteout night. Very loud and very into the game.
Coming out of the student section is only words of encouragement for both teams. No negative comments. We do not roll that way. We are a very positive school. We need chocolate coming from the student section for the Vikings. Not sure what that means, but we're going to roll with it. All right. As Mount Pleasant's lineup comes out of their timeout, it looks as if Salvatore, Tui, Brander, Johnson, and Napper will be coming out for the Vikings, as they will be inbounding. If you're just tuning in with us, folks, Mount Pleasant is up 22-21 over the Scotties. All right, Johnson to inbound. Ooh, tight defense by Robinson, but he gets it into Salvatore the whole way back on the other end of the court. Salvatore driving. Ooh, tries to kick it out to Johnson, but stolen by Glowacki, who tries to get up to Robinson, but stolen yet again by Lucas Tui, who kicks it to Napper, tries to get it back to Tui. Stolen by Cernuto, gets it to Richter inside, and Richter lays it up for two. Southmoreland takes the lead, 23-22 over the Mount Pleasant area Vikings. Ty Salvatore with the ball, guarded by Robinson. Drives left and fouled by Robinson. That'll be the team's 7th foul. I do believe that'll be Robinson's first. Trevor Mason, subbing in for the Vikings, will be coming in for Jacob Johnson. Scratch that, that will be Robinson's 2nd foul of the game, team's 7th. As Ty Salvatore gets sent to the line for, I do believe, 1 of 1 for free throws. Salvatore off the back of the rim. As Southmoreland goes the other way, Glowacki has the ball. Puts it up, but misses off the back of the rim. Brander with the rebound. And will be fouled by Glowacki underneath. That'll be the team's 8th. And I do believe it will be Glowacki's 2nd. As Peterson checks in for the Scotties, taking out Brett Glowacki, sending him to the bench. And sophomore Jonas King will be subbing in for the Vikings at some point. Brander to shoot. Brander off the front of the rim on his free throw, as Cernuto takes it the other way for Southmoreland. Cernuto drives, tries to take it in, but Peterson comes up with the rebound and lays it in for 2. Tui with the ball. Ooh, tries to get it to Salvatore, but pass too far behind him, goes out of bounds, as Mount Pleasant will turn the ball over and put it in the hands of Southmoreland. All right, Anderson with the ball up top. Drives left, kicks it out to Cernuto. Looks inside, but nothing there as he drives. Tries to lay it in, but blocked hard by Jonas King. Peterson comes up with the rebound, though, but he's off. Brander with the rebound, kicks it to Salvatore on the left side. Salvatore in the corner. Fouled by number 11, Riley Conforti. That'll be the team's 9th. I do believe that'll be Conforti's 1st. As Johnson tries to sub in for the Vikings. Gets denied by the ref. Salvatore will be shooting here. I do believe it's still 1 and 1. All right, as he makes the first, Johnson checks in for the Vikings. Salvatore making that gives him a 2nd attempt. Now, Katie, it seems like there's a lot of sloppy play in this game and a lot of fouls. Definitely slowing down this 2nd quarter. What do you think about that?
There's a lot of fouls, but with a lot of fouls, there's very aggressive play.
And a lot of attempts at free points. As Southmoreland goes the other way. Conforti with the ball. Stolen by Brander. Oh, but a travel. As Southmoreland takes ball the other way. They will obtain possession, and Richter will be inbounding for Southmoreland. A quite questionable call on the refs there. Southmoreland inbounds to Cernuto, guarded by Johnson. 4:27 left in the second quarter of this matchup between Southmoreland and Mount Pleasant. Richter drives inside, gets it to Cernuto, and there's a travel on the Scotties as the ball will be going the other way. Johnson to inbound for the Vikings. Tries to get it into Salvatore. Ends up getting it into Jonas King, who gets it back to Salvatore on the right side. Back to Johnson up top, guarded by Cernuto. Johnson drives left, kicks it to Trevor Mason, who's blocked hard by Richter underneath. Ball going the other way. Cernuto with the ball, tries to get it to Conforti, but stolen by Jacob Johnson as he goes the other way for the Vikings. Drives inside and shoots a layup, but a charge on Johnson there. You know, if there was a foul for flopping here, folks, I do believe that would have definitely been called. But the ball will be going the other way for Southmoreland. All right, Richter to inbound for the Scotties, guarded by Salvatore. That'll be Johnson's first foul, team's 10th. If you're just tuning in with us, folks, Mount Pleasant trails the Scotties 25-24. Mount Pleasant coming out with their press defense against the Scotties. Richter gets it in to Conforti, who drives and is good for two, putting the Southmoreland Scotties up 27-24 over the Vikings. Salvatore with the ball. Dribbles right through two Southmoreland defenders, but stolen by Robinson and out of bounds. Mount Pleasant will obtain possession as the ball goes out of bounds off of Ronnie Robinson. All right, Johnson to inbound for the Vikings, gets it to Carson Smith up top. Carson Smith driving right, gets it back to Johnson. Johnson double teamed right now, and ball gets knocked out of bounds by number 11, Conforti of the Scotties. All right, Carson Smith with the ball up top, guarded hard by Robinson. Smith with the spin move, kicks it to Jonas King up top, who tries to get it inside, but stolen by Robinson. Robinson driving inside for the Scotties, blocked hard by Jonas King off the backboard. A couple players on the floor, Robinson and Smith. All right, after that, the ball will be going the other way. Mount Pleasant will obtain possession. Glowacki subbing in for the Scotties as he sends Robinson to the bench. Robinson with 3 fouls in this contest. Team has 10. Johnson with the ball. Bringing it down court, kicks it to Luculo inside. Tries to get it in to Jonas King, but the ball is knocked out of bounds as Mount Pleasant will obtain possession. Napper and Tui subbing in for the Vikings, sending Smith and Mason to the bench. Johnson looking for somebody. Gets it inside to Jonas King, who blocked by the rim on his layup attempt. All right, as the ball will be going the other way. If you're just tuning in with us, folks, the Scotties lead the Vikings 27-24 with 3 minutes and 1 second left in the second quarter. All right, Peterson to attempt free throws for Southmoreland. That'll be Luculo's third foul, and that's an air ball by Peterson for the Scotties. A little bit of a harmless heckling for the Vikings. Shout out to my 5th period English teacher, Miss Kreider. One heck of a woman. As Peterson drains the second free throw for the Scotties, putting them up 28-24. All right, as Mount Pleasant obtains possession, Lucas Tui will be inbounding for the Vikings. Guarded by Anderson. Press defense coming out for the Scotties as Johnson tries to drive right, but fouled by Riley Comforti. Southmoreland head coach not too happy about that. All right, Johnson to shoot the free throws for Mount Pleasant here as Comforti gets his second foul of the game. Southmoreland's 10th. Johnson good on the first free throw. Johnson to attempt his second free throw. And that is once again good for the Vikings, cutting the deficit to 1. Richter inbounding for Southmoreland. Gets it into Glowacki. Back to Richter, who gets it to Riley Comforti on the left, who lays it in for 2 for Southmoreland, putting them up 29-26 over the Vikings as Johnson takes the ball right. Johnson kicks it out to Lucas Tui, who attempts a 3, but I do believe that is blocked by Anderson. Comforti with the ball, kicks it to Richter, inside to Anderson, guarded by Brander, who gets blocked real hard underneath by Brander. Need I remind you, he is a 6'6" freshman for the Vikings. Exceptional play by the Vikings there. As Anderson will be inbounding for the Scotties. All right. Richter shoots a 3, but it's in and out of the rim as Peterson comes with the rebound, but it's blocked hard by Jonas King. That really got the student section excited there. Anderson to inbound for the Scotties. Salvatore with the defense. Anderson looking a little bit flustered with Kenny Biller of Mount Pleasant in the student section. Harmless heckling, though, need I remind you. Riley Comforti up top, who kicks it out to Richter. Richter guarded hard by Brander up top. A little bit of a mismatch. Richter drives inside. Fouled hard by Mason. That'll be Trevor Mason's first foul, team's 11th, sending Cade Richter of Southmoreland to the line for 2 free throws here, folks. All right, Richter off the front of the rim. No good on his first free throw attempt as Southmoreland leads Mount Pleasant 29-26. As Richter attempts his second free throw, he is no good off the back of the rim. Rebounded, swatted out of bounds by Salvatore. All right, Cernuto to inbound for the Scotties. Kicks it to Comforti, back to Richter. Richter lays it in for 2 for Southmoreland, putting them up 31-26 over the Mount Pleasant area Vikings. As Mount Pleasant goes the other way, Ty Salvatore with the ball, kicks it to Sam Napper in the corner. Sam Napper attempts a floater, but it's off the back of the rim, but inbounded by Luke. Rebounded by Luke Brander, who puts it up for 2, cutting the deficit to only 3. Richter drives inside, but off the back of the rim, Peterson with the rebound. And that's a travel by Peterson. Seems to be a recurring theme for the Scotties. A lot of travels here and a lot of fouls. Okay, as Salvatore goes the other way, guarded by Richter. Ball batted away a little bit, but recovered by Johnson, who kicks it to Napper in the corner. Napper guarded by Glowacki, gets it to Salvatore inside, kicks it back out to Napper. Napper looking for some room, guarded by Glowacki once again. Back to Johnson up top. Johnson drives and fouled. A lot of fouls in this contest, Katie. Seems to be a recurring theme for both teams. How do you think that's affecting both of the teams as of right now?
It's a very back and forth game, obviously very close here, 28-31. Very aggressive with the fouls, very back and forth.
As Johnson attempts his first free throw, he is good after a couple bounces off the rim, cutting the deficit to only 2. Need I remind you that both teams are in the double bonus right now for free throws. For those of you that don't know what that means no matter what foul is committed right now, any player fouled will be attempting 2 free throws at any given point in time. All right, Richter to inbound after Johnson makes another free throw. Gets it into Comforti, guarded by Ty Salvatore. 1:12 left in this first half. Comforti still with the ball, kicks it inside to Dalton Anderson, who kicks it out to Richter, who gets it into Glowacki in the corner, but he's no good off the front of the rim. Ty Salvatore with the rebound, gets it to Johnson, who tries to get it to Sam Napper in the corner, but ball batted around a little bit. Richter comes up with it. 52 seconds left in this half. Richter picks up his dribble, guarded by Johnson, who gets it to Glowacki up top. Glowacki to drive, floater, and no good for Southmoreland. As Peterson comes up with the rebound. Peterson, no good off the backboard. But once again, Southmoreland with the rebound, but a travel. Comforti will be turning the ball over and giving possession to the Mount Pleasant area Vikings. 37.8 seconds left in this first half as Southmoreland leads the Vikings 31-30. Both of the teams in the double bonus as Ty Salvatore gets the ball, guarded by Anderson. Salvatore with the drive, he puts it up, and that's good for 2. Ty Salvatore putting the Vikings up 32-31. Oh, but Brett Glowacki wide open, and that's 2 points for Southmoreland, putting them up 33-32 over the Mount Pleasant area Vikings. 18 seconds left in this half. Ty Salvatore kicks it to Trevor Mason, who drives inside and blocked by Peterson. Questionable call, probably could have been a foul, but Comforti takes it the other way, getting it back to Glowacki up top, who's guarded by Sam Napper. And that's an air ball by Glowacki as there's 0.9 seconds left in this half. What about strategy for second half? All right, Jonas King inbounds to Johnson. Johnson tries a half-court shot. It almost went in, though, folks. All right, and at the end of the first half, the Mount Pleasant area Vikings trail the Southmoreland Scotties 33-32. As I will stop head coach Alan Belinsky before he goes into the locker room for halftime. All right, Coach Belinsky, after your first game at head coach, how do you think the pace is going so far?
Our pace is up. We wanted to be up. We still got a little faster, but under control mentally.
All right, and what about the fouls? It seems like you have a couple players in foul trouble as well as Southmoreland, but how do you think that's going?
We're no foul. We know that. That's why we go a little deeper on our bench.
All right. What's your strategy for the second half?
Score more points than they do.
Points. All right. Wise words from head coach Alan Belinsky as Mount Pleasant heads into the locker room for halftime. Yet again, the score is 33-32 Southmoreland over Mount Pleasant. All right, folks, before we start the second half for the Vikings, I'm going to interview somebody from Mount Pleasant student section, Bradley Tate, senior. All right, Brad, so how do you think the Vikings are playing so far in this contest?
I feel like they're playing pretty well. They need to sink a little more of their free throws, and we'd be winning right now. And maybe play some better defense. They don't score as much. If they don't score, we win. That's how it is.
All right, wise words from senior Brad Tate from the student section. All right, as I end this interview, there's 1 minute 45 seconds before the second half starts in this contest. All right, Brad, thank you. We're in their head, says Brad.
Keys to the game.
Alrighty, welcome back, folks, as we get started in the second half of this contest. I do believe the key to success in this half would be for the Vikings to slow it down a little bit on their fouling and sinking a couple more of the free throws here, as Southmoreland leads 33-32. The starting lineup is back in for Mount Pleasant as well as Southmoreland. Southmoreland will start off with the ball here. Robinson inbounding, gets it to Cernito. Cernito guarded by Kabuski up top. Kicks it back out to Robinson, who gets it back to Comforti. Comforti drives inside, kicks it out to Robinson in the corner, who shoots a three, and no good off the side of the rim for Robinson, but inbounded by Comforti, who kicks it inside to Glowacki. All right, inside to Robinson, who misses off the front of the rim. Nate Kabuski with the rebound. Gets it up to Jacob Johnson. Johnson driving. Johnson with the layup, but no good off the glass as Southmoreland comes up the rebound. Robinson going the other way for Southmoreland, puts it up, and that is a blocking foul. Oh no, a charge on Rodney Robinson for the Scotties. That'll be their first foul of the half, and that'll be Robinson's first of the half, but his fourth in the game. Robinson will be heading out for the Scotties as Anderson subs in. Johnson to inbound for the Vikings. Salvatore gets it in. Salvatore taking it up court, guarded by Anderson. Salvatore still with the ball, drives inside with a floater, and that is good for Ty Salvatore, putting the Vikings up 34-33 over the Southmoreland Scotties. Anderson with the ball, gets it out to Comforti. Comforti back to Anderson, but fouled by Napper. That'll be Napper's. I do believe it'll be his second foul of the game. Third foul of the game, actually, and that'll be Mount Pleasant's first of the half. Peterson subbing in for Anderson of the Scotties. All right, folks. Inbounded to Cernito, guarded by Kabuski. Cernito drives, tries to get it into Peterson, but stolen by Zach Wakulo. Salvatore with the ball now, driving the other way. Gets it to Sam Napper on the side, and Sam Napper, good for 3. Oh, never mind. Evidently his foot was on the line. That's only a 2. Mount Pleasant up 36-33 over the Scotties. Ball tipped out of bounds, and Southmoreland will retain possession. Cernuto to inbound for the Scotties. Gets it into Peterson, almost to Peterson, but ends up going to Glowacki. Comforty with the ball now up top, guarded by Johnson. All right, Comforty now guarded by Lucullo and Johnson. Gets it underneath to Peterson, and that is yet again another travel for Southmoreland. Again, seems to be a recurring theme for the Scotties in this contest. In this half, it seems as if Mount Pleasant's defense hasn't changed much. I think we need to gain upon that and play a little bit better defense in this half. Kubuski with the ball now up top, guarded by Comforty. Kicks it out to Salvatore. Salvatore driving and fouled by Brett Glowacki underneath. Heading to the line will be Ty Salvatore for 2 free throws. That'll be Southmoreland's 2nd foul of the half, and it'll be Glowacki's 3rd. Ty Salvatore good on the first. Bringing the lead up to 5 points here. 4 points, actually. And now bumping the lead up to 5 points. Richter gets it to Cernuto as Southmoreland heads the opposite way. Cernuto driving. Kicks it out to Glowacki, who takes it in for 2. Cutting the lead to only 3 as the Vikings lead this contest 38-35. Johnson, good for the layup there. Bringing the lead back up to 5. Very fancy play by Johnson there. As Cernuto goes the other way for Southmoreland, kicks it inside to Richter, who kicks it inside to Glowacki, who lays it in for 2. Cutting the lead back to 3. Very back and forth game here at Mount Pleasant Area High School as Napper kicks it back to Salvatore. Salvatore drives, kicks it out to Nate Kubuski on the edge. Nate Kubuski good for yet again another 3 for Nate Kubuski as Glowacki's wide open the other way and lays it in for 2. Very, very back and forth game here, folks, as Johnson kicks it out to Kubuski. Kubuski shoots once again and off the front of the rim. Sam Napper with the ball drives, and that's a foul on Brandon Peterson of the Scotties. That'll be the team's 3rd of the half, sending Sam Napper to the line. Sam Napper will be shooting 2 free throws as that is Peterson's 2nd foul. Mount Pleasant leads 43-39. Now 44-39 as Sam Napper bangs his first free throw. All right, Sam Napper attempts his 2nd free throw and yet again drains it, bringing the lead up to 6 points here in this contest as the score is 45-39. Mount Pleasant leads. All righty. Anderson to inbound for the Scotties. Gates it in to Riley Comforty, guarded by Lucullo. Comforty inside. No good on the layup for Comforty as Johnson comes down with the rebound, charging hard ahead the other way. Gets to the rim. A questionable call by the refs there as Johnson is taken down to the ground, but doesn't really matter because Lucas Tui comes up with the steal, kicks it to Lucullo in the corner, and Lucullo off the backboard on his 3 attempt. But luckily, Sam Napper with the rebound there. Kicks it to Nate Kubuski up top, who gets it to Tui on the corner, back to Kubuski. Kubuski drives, and that's good on the floater from Nate Kubuski, who makes the lead now, 47-39. Mount Pleasant up by 8 in this contest. Richter going the other way. Richter inside to Dalton Anderson, who was blocked hard by Kubuski. Kubuski real excited after that one as Trevor Mason subs in for the Vikings. There's another timeout called by the Scotties. All right, and it looks like Mount Pleasant head coach Alan Belinsky and assistant Alex Dennison are very happy as of right now with the Vikings, as they have now made this lead 8 points. So, Katie, what do you think after watching the first part of this second half?
I think Mount Pleasant has really controlled their fouling. They only have 1 so far this half, while the Scotties have 3. And an announcement for Student Council Christmas Dance is December 15th at the Scottsdale Firemen's Club. The cost is $66 for a couple and $36 for single. All right, Alex, back to you.
All right, as Mount Pleasant student section gets very hyped up right now, I do believe Kenny Biller just ate a lemon. I don't know why, but he just did. Just a big hunk out of a lemon. Oh. As Mount Pleasant student section starts chanting, "Eat the lemon." All right, not sure what that means, but we're going to roll with it. All right, 4 seconds left of this timeout as Mount Pleasant will be defending. The Scotties will be inbounding. Friendly banter from the Mount Pleasant student section. All harmless here, folks. No negative comments as Anderson inbounds for the Scotties. Tries to get it inside to Conforti, but very good defense by the Vikings as Luculo knocks it out of bounds. Anderson once again inbounding for the Scotties. Guarded by Lucas Tui. Anderson looking, sees nothing, but eventually gets it out. Cade Richter with it up top, shoots a 3. Cade Richter good for 3, cutting the deficit to only 5. Alrighty, ball inbounded to Kabuski, but kicks it directly back to Lucas Tui. Lucas Tui driving right, gets it to Napper. Napper in the corner, trapped by Cernuto and Richter. Timeout by the Vikings. Alrighty, tee him up, says the Mount Pleasant area student section. Alrighty, once again, we are going to have a 30-second timeout called by the Scotties as Mount Pleasant leads. The Scotties 47-42. It seems to be a very back-and-forth game here, Katie, despite Mount Pleasant gaining a bigger lead than they had at the end of the half. What do you think Mount Pleasant needs to do to kick their game up a notch?
I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing. They're really picking it up this half.
Alrighty, wise words from Katie Hutter there, as Mount Pleasant will obtain possession as Johnson inbounds for the Vikings. Johnson looking a little bit happy here. I don't know why. Looking very excited. All right, Johnson looking, gets, stolen by Conforti, who gets it up to Anderson. Anderson on the fast break. Anderson puts it up, but it's no good. Luculo comes down with the rebound. What a tenacious rebounder he's been this game. But Nate Kabuski tries to pick that back up, but Southmoreland will regain possession. Richter to inbound for the Scotties. Richter guarded by Napper. All right, a foul on Zach Luculo, number 1 of the Vikings. That'll be his 4th foul of the game as 6'6" freshman Luke Brander checks in. All right, as Richter inbounds, Napper with the defense. All right, kicks it in. Gets it up top to Anderson. Anderson guarded by Salvatore. Gets it to Richter, who's guarded by Napper. All right, Richter waiting. Drives in left. And foul on the floor on White 10. That'll be his 4th foul of the game as well. That'll be Mount Pleasant's 3rd of the half. Despite needing to slow down the fouling in this second half, Mount Pleasant seems to be still playing that very hard defense. And they have, I think, 3 players in foul trouble right now, as Southmoreland also has, I do believe, 2. All right, Richter to inbound once again for the Scotties, guarded by Mason. Alrighty. Richter inbounding. Looking, and gets it to Cernuda, who drives inside, but blocked by Nate Kabuski. Nate Kabuski the other way, gets it to Johnson, but stolen by Cade Richter, who just throws it up like a football. Comforti comes down with it, passes it to Glowacki behind his back, and Glowacki good for 2. Alrighty, Mount Pleasant leads 47-44 over the Scotties after that score. Salvatore going the other way, kicks it to Johnson on the up top. Gets it down to Kabuski in the corner. Kabuski shoots, and Kabuski off the back of the rim as Riley Comforti comes up the rebound, and Jacob Johnson with the steal. Jacob drives. Oh, no good in the layup as Brander gets the rebound, and Brander puts it back up for 2, bumping the Mount Pleasant's lead up 49-44 over the Scotties. Brander with the defense on Richter as he shoots, but that's a foul. Brander with a little bit of a mismatch there with size, as Richter will be shooting 2 fouls there, 2 foul shots there. That'll be Brander's first foul of the game, team's 4th of the half. Alrighty, Richter no good off the back of the rim on his first free throw attempt. Mount Pleasant student section eating that up. They very much so like that. All right, seems to be a lot of sloppy passes right now in transition. Seems to be a lot of turnovers, a lot of steals. What do you think about that, Katie?
It's very back and forth. There's a lot of steals. And he misses the second free throw.
All righty, Cade Richter misses on his second free throw, as Katie just said. And Southmoreland will regain possession once again as Richter inbounds. Mount Pleasant still playing their hard defense here. Press man-to-man. All right, Richter underneath. No good on his layup attempt. I don't believe he hit anything there. Maybe not even the backboard. All righty, as Mount Pleasant regains possession, Salvatore will be taking the ball down the court here for Mount Pleasant as Johnson inbounds. All right. Salvatore kicks it to Mason in the corner. Mason trapped. Sloppy play there by the Vikings as Southmoreland goes the other way. Riley Comforti with the layup attempt, and that is good as Johnson was on the defense. All right, Mount Pleasant still up 49-46 in this contest as Ty Salvatore takes the ball the other way from Mount Pleasant. Jacob Johnson shooting a 3 here for Mount Pleasant, and in and out of the rim there for Johnson on his 3 attempt. Berkolacki with the rebound, kicks it up to Anderson. Anderson blocked hard by Johnson off the backboard. That is a questionable call by the refs there, folks, as Johnson comes up big with that play. That'll be Johnson's second foul of the game, team's 5th of the half, and that'll send Dalton Anderson to the line for 2 free throw attempts here, folks. If you're just tuning in, there is 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in this third quarter as Mount Pleasant leads the Southmoreland Scotties 49-46. Alrighty, Anderson sinks the first free throw, cutting the deficit to only 2. Despite Mount Pleasant having many attempts from deep, they seem to not be able to connect on any of them as of right now, and neither team seems to be making very many shots in this third quarter. As Anderson sinks the second free throw, cutting the deficit to only 1. Alrighty, Ty Salvatore with the ball right now. Driving right, kicks it to Mason in the corner yet again. Trapped yet again. But that's a jump ball there. Oh. Richter with some words for the ref. I'd go back to the bench if I was him, but that's just me, folks. All right, as Mount Pleasant calls a timeout here, let's take a second to mention that there is one more week for the junior class Candygram sale. Be sure to check your email for details if you want to be a part of the holiday fun. If you can even send a lump of coal to one of your deserving friends. Oh, that's harsh there, folks. All righty. As Mount Pleasant leads Southmoreland 49-48 in this contest, there seems to be not much of a change of pace here. Still very fast-paced offense and defense for both Mount Pleasant and Southmoreland. And despite both coaches probably wanting a little bit less fouls this half, it seems to be a recurring theme as both teams seem to be fouling equally as much as they did in the first half, huh, Katie?
Yes, it's still very aggressive. Still a lot of fouls. Very back and forth. Still a lot of steals. See how this ends up here.
Alrighty, thank you, Katie. Alrighty, as Mount Pleasant comes out of their timeout, looking sharp as ever in their white uniforms. Johnson to inbound for the Vikings. A JJ chant coming from Mount Pleasant student section as Ty Salvatore gets the ball up top. Alrighty, Nate Kabuski in the corner, kicks it back to Johnson, who kicks it inside to Mason, who kicks it back outside to Salvatore. Salvatore back to JJ up top. JJ drives, kicks it back out to Salvatore. Salvatore driving, or at least it tried to drive. Salvatore back up top, kicks it to Johnson, back into the corner to Nate Kabuski, back up to Johnson up top. Johnson kicks it back to Kabuski in the corner. And that is a foul on number 24, Brett Glowacki of the Scotties. That'll be his 4th of the game. Yet again, another player in foul trouble in this game, as Glowacki and Robinson both have 4 each. And I do believe 2 players of the Vikings also have 4 fouls at this point in time, as Peterson checks in for Brett Glowacki, sending him to the bench. Mount Pleasant will be inbounding the ball. Johnson, in fact, will be inbounding. Aggressive words from the ref here. A little bit of tension between Mount Pleasant and Southmoreland as Brander and Richter seem to be getting at it underneath. All right, up top to Lucas Tui, who's guarded by Cernuto of the Scotties, who kicks it out to Ty Salvatore. Ty Salvatore, need I remind you, is a starting sophomore guard for Mount Pleasant, making his first career start. Alrighty, Ty Salvatore with the ball once again. Gets it to Mason up top. Mason kicks back out to Tui, who kicks it to Johnson in the corner. Johnson for 3 off the front of the rim, but Luke Brander comes up the rebound, and Luke Brander in for 2. All right, folks. That puts Mount Pleasant up 51-48 over the Scotties. Impressive play by the freshman Luke Brander, as I do believe that is his 8th point of this matchup. And oh my goodness, a jump ball there, folks. Alan Belinsky does not look too happy about that call, folks. Ooh. Hey, friendly banter coming out of the Mount Pleasant student section once again. No negative comments. All righty, as Johnson inbounds to Ty Salvatore. Ty Salvatore will be taking it down the court. That was not the best call if you ask me, but what do I know? I'm just the commentator, you know what I mean? Alrighty, Lucas Tui has it in the corner, tries to kick it into Brander, but stolen by Cade Richter. 46 seconds left in this contest, as there's another travel by Cade Richter. That is his 4th today in the game. He might as well just get on the bus if he wants to travel that far. Alrighty, Mount Pleasant will regain possession once again. Johnson to inbound for the Vikings. Give him the T, says Mount Pleasant student section, as Jacob Johnson kicks it into Salvatore, but Salvatore on the travel. I don't think that was a travel. I do believe that was a double dribble, but I'm not the ref, so I don't make the calls. But Southmoreland will be taking it out. Cade Richter kicks it to Riley Conforti. 36 seconds left in this contest. If you're just tuning in with us, folks, Mount Pleasant leads 51-48 over the Southmoreland Scotties. Cade Richter up top. 29 seconds. Cade Richter with the Euro step, blocked hard by Brander inside. Rebounded by Cernuto, puts it up for 2, cuts the lead to only 1. Mount Pleasant up 51-50 over the Southmoreland Scotties. Alrighty, Jacob Johnson up top. 16 seconds left, kicks it back to Ty Salvatore. He picks up his dribble, gets it into Lucas Tui in the corner, but tipped around a little bit and out of bounds. 9.7 seconds left as Southmoreland regains possession. Alrighty, Johnson defending Conforti on that one. Alrighty, Anderson loses the ball a little bit, but regains possession. 4 seconds left in this quarter. Anderson with the ball, guarded but hard by Ty Salvatore as he puts it up, and no good. Alrighty, Mount Pleasant up 51-50 at the end of the 3rd quarter here, folks. Alrighty, need I remind you that both teams have 5 fouls at this point in this half. Foul trouble seems to be a recurring theme in this contest, as both teams have multiple players in foul trouble. Katie, what do you think about that?
Still very back and forth here at the end of the 3rd quarter, going into the 4th. And we have another announcement. We would like to take the time right now to congratulate our September Senior of the Month, Chloe Jaworski, who amongst many other activities is a member of the Lady Vikings basketball team who participates tonight in the Greensburg Lions tip-off tournament.
Alrighty, thank you, Katie, for that announcement. Alrighty, 30 seconds left in this timeout as junior Kenny Biller says, if life gives you lemons, you might as well eat them. Fair enough, folks. Alrighty, if you're just tuning in with us again, folks, at the beginning of this fourth quarter, Mount Pleasant leads Southmoreland 51-50. Alrighty, that's the first buzzer. The tension in here is so thick you could probably cut it with a knife, folks. Alrighty. Nate Kabuski has his elbow taped up. I'm not sure why, but let's see if that affects the shot any in this quarter. Alrighty, Southmoreland will have possession of the ball out of the timeout. I do believe Anderson will be taking the ball out for Southmoreland. Yes, Anderson is inbounding the ball here. Gets it into Comforty. Comforty with the ball, guarded by Johnson. Johnson and Comforty, both similar players in both basketball and football, as they're both receivers for their football teams, and they both led in receiving yards and touchdowns this year, as well as both being exceptional basketball players on each basketball teams. Alrighty, folks, that'll be Ty Salvatore's second foul of the game, as well as Mount Pleasant's sixth of the half, as Richter inbounds the ball here. Alrighty, Richter looking, sees nothing, hits it off of Lucullo's foot, and we'll be taking it out again. Very good defense by the Vikings here as they are forced to inbound once again. All right, gets it into Comforty, who's guarded by Johnson. Comforty for the layup, and no good off the front of the rim, but gets his own rebound. Alrighty, Richter once again will be inbounding for the Southmoreland Scotties, guarded by number 1, Zach Lucullo. Gets it into Comforty. Comforty guarded by Johnson, shoots a three off the side of the rim, rebounded by Lucullo. Lucullo to Ty Salvatore. Ty Salvatore looking, taking it down court. Salvatore all the way and in for two. Impressive play by Salvatore in this game, making the Vikings lead 3 here. Mount Pleasant 53 over Southmoreland 50. Yet again, another foul for the Vikings. That'll be Lucullo's 5th, and I do believe he'll be ejected from the contest after that 5th foul. Great game, Zach. Alrighty, that'll be the 7th foul of the half for the Vikings, as Cade Richter heads to the line for 2 free throws. Oh, nope, maybe just one. 1 and 1 here, folks. Alrighty, Richter at the line here for the Scotties. 7 minutes and 25 seconds left in this contest as Mount Pleasant leads Southmoreland 53-50. Well, 53-51 now after Cade Richter bangs that free throw, earning him another spot at the line to attempt yet again another free throw. Alrighty, Cade off the back of the rim there as Comforty comes up with the rebound and fouled hard by Jonas King underneath. Comforty will head to the line for 2 free throws. That'll be Jonas King's first foul of the contest, team's 8th of the half. Again, it seems like nothing has changed for either teams here as both are in deep foul trouble. Comforty drains his first free throw. Comforty to attempt his second free throw here as Mount Pleasant leads 53-52. All right, Comforty no good on his second free throw attempt, but doesn't matter because Traynor gets the rebound, puts it back up, and Southmoreland leads 54-53 over the Mount Pleasant area Vikings as Ty Salvatore kicks it to Nathan Kabuski in the corner, back up to Johnson up top. Johnson fakes, gets it inside to Jonas King. Jonas King shoots the mid-range off the front of the rim, no good. Alrighty, Comforty the other way, but stolen by Johnson. Kind of stolen by Johnson. Everybody's diving on the floor here right now. Wrestling. There's a lot of pushing here, folks. People are trying to fight. Cade Richter gets up into Luke Brander's face, but that's no good because there's a little bit of a mismatch there as Cade Richter, very small in size compared to Lucas Brander. Gosh, I wish I was out there right now. Almost a fight there on the court between Southmoreland and Mount Pleasant. Alrighty. I do believe that'll be a timeout, folks, after that little brawl on the court. Alrighty, folks. A lot of tension there as Southmoreland leads. Mount Pleasant 54-53. Questionable call there by the refs, as may have been a travel. I'm not going to say anything because, yet again, I'm not the ref. I'm just the commentator, folks. Alrighty, 6 minutes and 57 seconds left in this quarter, folks, as Ronnie Robinson checks back in the game, and he inbounds it to Riley Conforti. Riley Conforti up to Cade Richter, who's at center court. After all that tension, I do believe somebody, whether it be on both teams or just one, should have received a tech there. But yet again, I'm not a referee here, folks. Alrighty, another foul against the Scotties. Johnson fouled there, as Johnson will be inbounding. That'll be Riley Conforti's third foul. All right, big smiles coming from Cade Richter of Southmoreland as he talking to Luke Brander there underneath a little bit. All right, he ties Salvatore with the ball, gets it to Johnson. Johnson up top, kicks it to Nate underneath, but stolen by Richter, who's guarded by Luke Brander. Richter slips through, heads to the rim, gets it to Conforti underneath. Conforti tries to kick it, gets it to Cernuto, though, after a couple of tips there from Mount Pleasant Steve. Oh, my goodness, blocked hard underneath by Jonas King. Even though it sounded like all ball there, folks, I do believe they had to call a foul on Jonas King. That'll be his second. The team's 9th of the half. Questionable call there, but yet again, I'm not the referee. Alrighty, 22 Cernuto of Southmoreland will be shooting 2 free throws here for Southmoreland. Drains the first one, making Southmoreland's lead 2 here, as Southmoreland leads 55-53 with 6 minutes and 21 seconds left in this contest. Alrighty, Cernuto on his second attempt, and drains it just like the first. Alrighty, 56-53, Southmoreland leads. Alrighty, Ty Salvatore with the ball here. Looking, nothing there. Ty Salvatore gets it to Jacob Johnson up top, who gets it back to Salvatore. Kabuski inside in the corner, tries to get it to Brander, but stolen by Cernuto. Yet again, another steal. Sloppy passing there, folks, as Riley Conforti tries to get an oop, but no good there on the layup attempt. Alrighty, as Ronnie Robinson has the ball, he pitches it to Richter. Richter back to Conforti. Conforti shoots a 3, but it's off the side of the rim, but rebounded by Southmoreland's Riley Conforti. Ronnie Robinson with a flashy pass there, up top to Conforti. Conforti drains a 3 there for Southmoreland, pushing their lead to 6 points here as Mount Pleasant calls a timeout. Southmoreland seems super hyped there as Cade Richter flexes, but there's no muscles there, so I don't understand why he did that. Alrighty, folks. Alrighty, Mount Pleasant trails Southmoreland 59-53. Alrighty, just harmless banter coming from Mount Pleasant student section here. Despite being down by 6 points, they're very hyped up right now, and I will give the microphone over to Katie, who has another announcement.
We would like to congratulate October's Senior of the Month, Rihanna Elatrash. Rihanna is the daughter of Leo Elatrash and Allie Elatrash. Rihanna is from Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. She attends Mount Pleasant Area Junior-Senior High School, and she very often visits her family overseas where her parents grew up. Rihanna is involved in Golf Student Council Vice President, SAD President, Interact Club President, and Cultural Experience President. Rihanna's future plans are to attend Seton Hill, studying pre-medicine, then furthering her education at the Lake Erie College of Osmotic Medicine.
Alrighty, congratulations to Rihanna Elatrash on all of her accomplished throughout high school. Alrighty, she is October's Student of the Month. Alrighty, JJ with the ball here at the top for Mount Pleasant, folks. Kicks it back to Ty Salvatore. Salvatore guarded by both Ronnie Robinson and Riley Conforti. Kicks it back to Johnson. Johnson drives. Baseline, kicks it back out to Salvatore, who shoots a 3 there and absolutely drains that one, folks. Cutting the lead back to 3. Alrighty, Conforti with the ball, kicks it to Richter. Richter drives inside, kicks it out to Glowacki. Glowacki with the ball. It's stolen by Johnson. Look at TJ! Jacob Johnson with the layup, cutting the lead to only 1 for Southmoreland. All right, 4 minutes and 48 seconds left in this contest, folks, as Mount Pleasant trails 58-59 to Southmoreland. All righty. Ronnie Robinson with the ball up top. Gets it to Conforti as he hands it off to Richter. Richter shoots a shot there, but absolutely no good after he just only hit the backboard. Alrighty, Ty Salvatore with the ball here, kicks it up to Sam Napper. Sam Napper drives inside. That is a questionable call by the refs there as Sam Napper gets charged with a charge there. That'll be Mount Pleasant's 10th foul of the half, and that'll be Sam Napper's 5th, ejecting him from the game. That is a very questionable call there, folks, as I do believe if a flopping call would have been integrated into the game, that definitely would have been called there. That was a grade A flop there, folks. Grade A, but you know what? It worked. Richter to inbound the ball for Southmoreland as Mount Pleasant trails. So Southmoreland Scotties 59-58 with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in this contest. Okay, folks, Richter to inbound for Southmoreland as Brander defends. Gets it into Conforti, guarded by Johnson. Alrighty, Conforti driving. Slowing it down a little bit with Jacob Johnson defending. All right, gets to Robinson, who drives left, gets it to Richter, guarded by Brander. That's yet again another foul on Lucas Brander. That'll be Brander's second, team's 11th in this half. All right, as Richter goes to the line for his free throws, he will be in the double bonus here, so he will shoot two. Richter off the back of the rim on the first. Couldn't connect there, folks. Alrighty, folks, Richter to attempt a second free throw here. Misses off the right of the rim, right side of the rim. All right, Brander comes up with a rebound, gets it to Johnson. Johnson drives, can't get control of the ball. Conforti, JJ, and Cade Richter on the ground. Ball will be going the other way to Southmoreland, folks. That is a very questionable call there by the referees. I am literally on the sideline, and I can tell you right now that that should be Mount Pleasant's ball. But yet again, what am I to know? Because I am just the commentator of this game. I am not a referee. Alrighty, folks. Cornudo to inbound from Mount Pleasant as he kicks it to Richter, who gets it back to Cornudo, who gets it to Riley Conforti, who lays it in for two, making the lead 61-58. Southmoreland over the Vikings. Alrighty, Ty Salvatore with the ball up top here, folks. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson driving. Johnson kicks it back out to Ty Salvatore, who drives right. Looks, sees nothing there. Drives again, baseline. Gets it to Jonas King. Jonas King with the jumper off the back of the rim, folks. Alrighty, Ronnie Robinson comes up the rebound there for Southmoreland as Cernuto takes the ball down court. Gets it back to Robinson at center court. If you're just tuning in, folks, Mount Pleasant trails 61-58 to Southmoreland with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this contest as Ronnie Robinson misses yet again another layup. But Jonas King comes up with the rebound as Jacob Johnson takes it the other way. Johnson drives. Johnson off the backboard for the layup, and Jonas King gets the rebound, puts it up, but no good, but he gets fouled there. So Jonas King will be heading to the line for two free throws here, folks. Jonas King, yet again, another sophomore playing a decent amount of minutes here for the Vikings. A very young team this year. That'll be Glowacki's fifth foul as he gets ejected from this contest. Need I remind you that 3 players thus far in this game have been ejected due to foul trouble. Alrighty, Peterson checks in for the Scotties. Peterson, a senior for the Scotties. Also doubled as Southmoreland's tight end for football. Alrighty. Jonas King off the back of the rim on his first free throw. Alrighty, some encouraging words from teammate Nate Kabuski as he high-fives Jonas King. Jonas King to shoot his second free throw. Alrighty, Jonas King drains his second free throw, cutting the lead to only 2 for Southmoreland. Alrighty. Folks, as Cernuto inbounds for Southmoreland, Kabuski will defend. Alrighty, Conforti with the ball here. Conforti guarded by Johnson. Alrighty, Conforti with the ball, now guarded by Brander. Blocked by Brander, but they're calling it a foul here, folks. Alrighty. That'll be yet again another foul for Mount Pleasant. That'll be Brander's third foul, I do believe. Yes, it will be. And Conforti will head to the line for yet again another pair of free throws. Alrighty. Conforti to shoot his first free throw. Oh, but in and out for Conforti. Unlucky bounces there, folks. Alrighty, as Conforti sets up to take his second shot here of the pair of free throws. He makes the second, bringing the lead back to 3 for Southmoreland with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in this contest. Alrighty, Salvatore on the right side. Guarded by Conforti, gets it to Tui. Tui drives it right back to where Salvatore just was, who kicks it back to Salvatore, but Salvatore's foot was on the line. Turnover. Southmoreland will regain possession. Alrighty, as Cernito will inbound the ball for Southmoreland. Scratch that. And Cade Richter with the ball, gets it to Robinson as Cade Richter was on the ground there, folks. Robinson drives, tries to lay it in, but no good, but gets his own rebound off the glass. Kicks it to Cade Richter out at top. Cade Richter with the ball, guarded by Johnson. Cade Richter, jab step, didn't do anything. All right, kicks it to Conforti. Conforti up top, guarded by Tui. Conforti drives inside, blocked by Brander off the backboard. Peterson with the rebound, but getting stolen by Jacob Johnson. Johnson behind the back, but gets stopped, and Lucas Tui shoots a 3, and no good for Lucas Tui, but rebounded by Nate Kabuski, but no good on the layup. As Southmoreland goes the other way, Peterson with the ball. Peterson with a travel there. Seems to be another repeat of the pass there for Southmoreland as they've acquired at least 7 travels this game. Gosh, if we would have known that they wanted to travel this much, they should have just gotten on the bus, folks. Alrighty. As Salvatore takes the ball down, he is at center court, gets it to Johnson up top, who's guarded by Conforti, who tries to get it into Jonas King. But Jonas King is fouled by Ronnie Robinson. Ronnie Robinson sitting on the ground now, arguing with the referee. But 1-and-1 on the free throws here, folks, as Southmoreland only has 8 fouls. That'll be Robinson's 5th foul as he gets ejected from the contest. 2 players for each team ejected from this game due to foul trouble, folks. Robinson is not too happy about that one. Hey, but just remember, folks, always be a fair player here, guys. Never be a sore loser, never be a sore contestant, all right? Alrighty, as Jonas King heads to the line for 1 of 1. His first free throw attempt is good. Alrighty, cutting the lead to only 2. All right, with 1 minute, 46 seconds left in this contest, Southmoreland leads Mount Pleasant 62-60 as Jonas King will attempt his second free throw of the set. Jonas King, easy money right there on the free throw as Riley Conforti has the ball guarded by Jacob Johnson. Kicks it up to Richter, who's bodied up by, oh my gosh, a lot of stuff happening here, folks. A lot of stuff happening here, folks, as very good defense by Mount Pleasant, and the ball will be heading Mount Pleasant's way here, folks, as Southmoreland turns over the ball here. Another unforced turnover for the Scotties. Alrighty, very loud in this gym here, folks, as Mount Pleasant student section is very hyped, especially considering Ty Salvatore, sophomore, is up to the line to shoot a free throw here, folks. Salvatore off the front of the rim, no good on his free throw. Richter with the rebound, guarded by Johnson. Johnson fouls. Yet again, another foul from Mount Pleasant here. And need I remind you that Southmoreland is in the double bonus, so no matter where the foul is on the court, they will be shooting 2 free throws. Alright, that'll be Johnson's 3rd free throw of the contest, as Mount Pleasant trails Southmoreland 62-61. Alrighty, Richter heads to the line for a pair of free throws here, folks. He has a very fancy leg sleeve on right now. All right, number 1, Cade Richter for Southmoreland at the line as the gym erupts. And Cade Richter, no good on the free throw attempt. Off the back of the rim, bounces out a little bit, and no good. All righty, folks. Alrighty, with 1 minute, 34 seconds left in this contest, Mount Pleasant trails Southmoreland 62-61. But Peterson comes up with the rebound, but blocked by Johnson on the shot. And Southmoreland will retain possession as Johnson tips that out of bounds on the block. Alrighty. Timeout from Southmoreland. That'll be a full timeout. And we'll take this time to congratulate yet another senior of the month. It would be Hannah Hutter. Hannah is the daughter of Shannon and Jason Hutter from Mount Pleasant. Hannah is a member of the Mount Pleasant Golf Team, Varsity Quiz Team, Drama Club, Students Against Destructive Decisions, Westmoreland Interscholastic Reading Competition, Spirit Club, Cultural Experiences Club, Quill and Squirrel Honor Society, and is currently employed at Cracker Barrel as well as the Mon Valley Independent. Hannah is also a part of the Mount Pleasant's journalism class where she is an editor-in-chief. She plans on attending a 4-year college, of which she is still deciding to major in journalism and broadcast media. Congratulations to Hannah Hutter, the November Senior of the Month. Very impressive, wouldn't you say, Katie?
Yes, this is very back and forth. The gym is going crazy. Everything is shaking. It's very back and forth with, I don't know how long. A minute 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Alrighty, folks. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Alrighty. Mount Pleasant trailing 62-61 in this contest. Both teams almost in the double bonus as Mount Pleasant has 12 fouls and Southmoreland has 9. Alrighty. Alrighty, as Dalton Anderson inbounds for Southmoreland, gets it to Comforty at center court. Comforty with the ball, guarded by Tui. 1:27 left in this contest as Mount Pleasant trails Southmoreland 62-61. Alrighty, Comforty still with the ball here. Does a couple fancy moves in between the legs. Gets it to Dalton Anderson up top. Anderson gets it inside to Cornudo, who tries to pass it inside, but ends up getting it to Comforty, and Comforty connects on the layup there. All right, Ty Salvatore going the other way. Ty Salvatore to Nate Kabuski in the corner. Nate Kabuski off the back of the rim, and the ball tipped around a little bit as Ty Salvatore comes up with the rebound. With 59 seconds left in this contest, Mount Pleasant trails Southmoreland 64-61. Ty Salvatore with the ball, gets it to Lucas Tui in the corner, off of Cornudo's foot, and that will be a kick ball, and Mount Pleasant will regain possession here. Alrighty, Mount Pleasant definitely needs a little bit of a defensive stop this next defensive drive, and they definitely need some points here. They can't come up empty-handed. And Comforty with the steal, good on the no good on the layup as Johnson gets the rebound, kicks it up to Nate Kabuski as Nate Kabuski drives, and the floater is good by Nate. No, a charge. Alrighty, that's a questionable call by the refs there as Nate Kabuski gets a charge, and the ball will be going the other way for Southmoreland as Mount Pleasant trails 64-61, and that'll be Nate's fourth. Alrighty, Cernudo will be inbounding for the Scotties as Ty Salvatore defends with 35.4 seconds left in this contest. Your Mount Pleasant area Vikings trail 64-61. Riley Comforty gets the ball here, passes it back to Cernudo, and that's a travel. Yet again, another travel on Southmoreland. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Alright, Johnson to inbound for the Vikings. Gets it to Ty Salvatore. 29 seconds left in this contest. Lucas Tui looks very ready in this corner, but the ball gets passed to Jacob Johnson, who gets it to Nate Kabuski in the corner, back to Johnson. Johnson for three, air ball. Rebounded by Cornudo, who is fouled by Jonas King. Alrighty, folks, with 17.5 seconds left in this contest, Mount Pleasant trails Southmoreland 64-61. As Zach Cornudo heads to the line for a pair of free throws here. That'll be Jonas King's third foul, Mount Pleasant's 13th of the half, as Lucas Brander seems to be checking in for the Vikings. Brander has 3 fouls at the moment. Alrighty. Cornudo good on the first free throw. That brings their lead up to 4 as Brander checks in the game for Lucas Tui. Alrighty, folks. In the game right now for Mount Pleasant is freshman Luke Brander, sophomore Jonas King, junior Jacob Johnson, sophomore Nate Kabuski, and sophomore Ty Salvatore. As Cornudo bangs his second free throw of the pair, that'll bring their lead up to 5 over the Mount Pleasant Vikings. Alrighty, a timeout for the Vikings. As Mount Pleasant trails 66-61 with 17.5 seconds left in the game. Alrighty. Yet again, the fouls just seem to keep coming, Katie. Doesn't seem to be slowing down any. A back and forth game still. Mount Pleasant can still win this thing with a couple of threes maybe. All right, what do you think Mount Pleasant needs to do to come out with this win here, Katie?
They need some very good defense. Obviously need to get a couple points here with a couple seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Alrighty. With 17.5 seconds left in this game, Mount Pleasant needs a little bit of momentum here. It definitely needs to shift because Southmoreland has went on, I think, a 5-0 run here against the Mount Pleasant area Vikings. Alrighty, Johnson to inbound for the Vikings. Salvatore with the ball here, guarded by Comforti. Back to Johnson, back to Ty Salvatore, who drives in, tries to get it back to Johnson. Johnson gets it, drives inside. Johnson with the and one there. That's very clutch with 9.8 seconds left. That'll cut the lead to only 4, I think. Yes, three as Mount Pleasant trails 66-63 against the Southmoreland Scotties with 9.8 seconds left in this contest. Johnson will head to the line for a free throw here, and that'll be Richter's second foul of the game, as both teams are now in the double bonus. Alrighty, Johnson with the shot and in and out. Alrighty, Riley Comforti comes up with the rebound, gets it to Cade Richter. Cade Richter gets it to number 30, who shoots a shot but off, and Nate Kabuski comes up with it, and that's all, folks. At the end of this contest, Southmoreland triumphs over Mount Pleasant 66-63. A little bit of an argument between the Mount Pleasant and Southmoreland student section, but always just harmless banter here, folks, as never any negative comments. Alrighty, I'm going to check to see if head coach Alan Belinsky would like to do an after-game interview as Mount Pleasant's walking off the court. Alrighty, I'm here with head coach Alan Belinsky. Tough game, huh, Coach?
Yeah, it's a tough one. It came down to the wire, and we just ended up on top.
All right. Even though a tough loss tonight, I think there's a lot to build on after tonight, huh?
Oh, time to build on. We gotta get better. Definitely, defense, offense, and all aspects of the basketball game. We need to get better.
How does this contribute to the rivalry in the next couple seasons after this loss?
Well, we get them next weekend at Hempfield for a tournament, so we'll see. Next weekend will be another good game.
Alrighty, that's it from head coach Alan Belinsky as he heads into the locker room after the game. And yet again, I will remind you that Southmoreland triumphed 66-63 over the Vikings. All right, good night, folks.